Hi everybody. So as most of you know, I'm a roller derby photographer. It's one of the things that I do as well as coach and um, skate when I can and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people ask me how I started skating, which I only started skating about at this point about three and a half years ago. And before that, I did grow up in Charleston, West Virginia, and there was a roller rink there, and I did go to it. Um, but I found pretty quickly that I was not very skilled at roller skating. I didn't I didn't skate in a rectangle or in a oval. I skated in a rectangle. I would just skate straight until I hit a wall and like do the little toe stop push, and then I would turn and I would hit the other wall, and then I would turn and I'd hit the other wall. Um, and so I realized really quickly that I was not a very good skater, and so I just played video games, and that was what I did. I played a lot of arcade games, and I got really good at those, and I never skated really again until about 3.5 years ago, and I've been photographing roller derby at that point for about 2 years. When And at that point in time, most roller derby matches were held at roller rinks. And afterwards, everybody would always say, "Hey, come and skate with the roller girls that you just saw play this big bout." Of course, after most bouts, most roller girls they just want to pass out and eat pizza and drink a beer, and they don't really care about skating anymore that day. However, as most of you that are into roller derby know, it's attended by other roller derby people from other leagues. Makes up a decent part of attendance at some bouts, particularly early on. And so everybody else would skate because they just watched the roller derby bout and were all excited, so they'd want to skate. And they would always be like, "Oh, hey, Jack Flash, come skate with us, come skate with us." And I had to say, I can't roller skate. I'm sorry, ladies, I would like to. And secretly like just hiding the fact that I was scared. I was scared to roller skate, um, and I just was worried I would hurt myself. I was worried that I would like cripple myself and I wouldn't be able to like work or do other things or photograph roller derby, which was my big passion at the time. Um, and so I didn't do it until one day I just got tired of people asking and having to say no and having to hide the fact that I couldn't skate at all. And so I posted up, again, to give you time frame, I posted up on Facebook and MySpace and a bunch of other places and Twitter, and it's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm gonna go roller skating for essentially the first time in my life. Like, really try to roller skate. And any help would be appreciated if anyone can come out." And two people showed up. Um, and they were, at the time, skaters with rock. And one of them was named Speedy Jenkins. And the other one is Newcomb. And Newcomb still skates. She skates for Cincinnati at the time, currently. At the time was skating for Rock. And they are probably two of the most fantastic skaters I know, and both grew up rink rats. And they came out, and I couldn't. Here I was in my big brown rental boots, and I couldn't stand up, and I was wobbling everywhere. Um, and they literally like arm under armed me like around the rink, and we're like, I'm like all low, so I don't fall as far, and they're like pulling me around, and I'm sure we were just like going like this fast. But I was like, "Ladies, we're really going too fast. We need to slow down. I can't take this." And they would they just literally took me around the track a couple of times, and I was so sore and tired. Um, and then Speedy came on and off, but I kept going. I kept I kept going to the roller rink at least once a week, every week, and Speedy would come on and off, but really, um, the person who helped me the most was Newcomb. Her real name is Whitney, and she would come to the rink with me at the beginning very frequently, and she held me up when I needed to be held up, and she let me fall when I needed to fall down, and she just, you know, she told me things. I mean, you know, she grew up skating and skates for a fantastic team, and she told me things about skating that didn't sink in for me for like another 2 years until I actually became a skater. And then I was like, holy crap, those things that she said to me like make sense now. Um, and you know, it was really kind of neat. But anyway, yeah. So she went with me and she held me up, and she is absolutely the reason that I am a skater today. I would not have skated without her, and you know, and for that, like, she will always have a huge place in my heart, um, which, you know, kind of came back around about maybe 6 or 9 months ago. She was coming off a very serious ankle break, and well, her leg break, tibia and fibia, at the ankle, and we went. So she calls me and she says, you know, I would like to go skating, but I don't want to go alone. Will you go with me? Absolutely, of course I'll go with you. I never get to skate with with her almost ever anymore, and the fact that she wanted me to be there when she like put the skates back on was really cool. And anyway, we get to Champs here in Lexington, and she put on her skates, and I could tell she was a little afraid, and I remember being afraid. I remember very distinctly how scared I was, and like I saw her scared like that, and I told her, I was like, you know, I won't let you fall. I'm not gonna let you fall because you were there and you never let me fall, and she said that's why I called you, and so tear. And yeah, I was like a guard dog all night on that girl. Like the first little bit, like kids were skating around, and like I may have checked some children. It's totally possible. But anyway, and it was really nice to like bring that back around and like be able to, you know, like to hold her arm while she stepped down onto the rink for the first time and stuff like that. You know, after her injury, and you know, in minutes she was back to her old self, but it was really cool, and it was, I mean, I can't ever repay her, but it was like the closest I could come to like thanking her in a very direct way for what she and Speedy Jenkins have done for me and given me the ability to skate. So, you know, I mean, you know, I did a lot of work on my own. So I began roller skating, and I skated on rentals for maybe 3 months or so on the big brown chunky rentals until I got my first pair of rentals that were wet from someone prior to me using them. And then I started switching up to speed skate rentals, and I was renting speed skates, but speed skates are a little more expensive, and I was really kind of broke, and so I started looking on Craigslist for skates in my size, and I found somebody selling them that was very cheap, very reasonable. And I bought my own skates about 2 years ago, and that was, you know, that was a real serious beginning for me. The other thing that started when I first started skating, I skated for about a year, and then I saw. I was in Detroit at the Movement Festival, the electronic music festival in Detroit, and every 2 years, a guy named Moody Man has a party there, and the Moody Man party is a skate party on the 8 Mile in Detroit. And when you think of that, I mean, I know for me previously I had no clue, but I'll put a link somewhere here that you can click and you can watch a video that's from, it's called Soul Skate. So I went to Soul Skate, like still in my learning to skate phase, and I was blown away by jam skating, jam and shuffle skating. And I was like, holy crap, that's what I want to learn to do. Because Derby at the time had not really become much of a men's sport yet. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a jam and shuffle skater because, my God, could those people skate. And so I got on YouTube and I started looking up jam skate videos and shuffle skate videos, and particularly, and I'll put a link down here, for one of who is now a friend of mine, Courtney Norris, who runs Jam Skate Addiction, and her tutorial videos are amazeballs. So I watched and I sat in my basement and the first thing I did was I realized I couldn't have toe stops. So I had like my first skates were like cheapy, like $50 skates, and I took that big chunky plastic white toe stop off, and I was like, okay, well, I'm never gonna use this, so let's just take it off. I took it off, and it dramatically changed my skating, like within a week. And anyway, so I started watching all these jam skate videos, and now I'm like friends with all these people. And the year after that, the jam skating national championships were held in Louisville, so I went to those. And so like here I'm like I went, I didn't participate obviously, but I got to go and see like some of the top jam skating, and a lot of what people consider jam skating now is more like sort of break dance skating. And what I really enjoy is what a lot of people call shuffle skate. But you have to find your niche. So I got to go to that, and that really just blew my mind. And when you see people skate at that level, it makes you want to skate at that level. So I pushed myself even harder. And it wasn't long after that that we began the junior roller derby, and I got to coach them, and I really got to increase my skate time, both skating with them and skating with the adults a little more, and it was super cool. But so that's kind of the gist. I still wear jam plugs. I don't wear toe stops, and I have to compensate for that. And my skating is still a little weird because, well, it's not still a little weird. It's always going to be weird because I'm pigeon-toed, so my feet turn in. So I will like never be able to, straighten them out and do a mohawk, because that ship has just sailed for me. When I was little, I had leg braces, like Forrest Gump-ish leg braces, because I'm so pigeon-toed, and you just have to deal with what you got. And I'm a hell of a plow stopper. I can plow stop on a dime, and that's where my strength is, and my crossovers are great. And yeah, so I've probably rambled on enough, but I hope that answers everybody's questions about how I began roller skating. And hopefully in another video here soon, which I will try to link to when I make it, down here, link somewhere, where I'll explain how I got into photographing roller derby, which started this whole mess. So anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because everybody on YouTube has to say that. And I'll try to post a couple more videos. I'd like to post some videos about photo editing and things like that. So leave a comment on what you would like to see me talk about as far as roller derby or photography or junior roller derby or any of that stuff, and how I got involved in any of those things. I'll probably make videos about those. So anyway, cool. I will catch you guys on the flip side.